hired that woman as my publicist. Oh, thank you, Rochelle. Let's give it up one more time. Rochelle's from Missoula. And, one of the things about stand-up comedy is women are in a minority. And it's so terrific to me to see youngins like Rochelle, come aboard the comedy train. Well, I feel fabulous tonight because next week I turn 71. Thanks, I could drop dead any second. Just giving you a heads up. So, for my birthday, my husband and I decided we'll take a little getaway to Chico Hot Springs. So I thought, okay, I better get a little sexed up for Ted. So I went out and I bought a black silk lace corset. Well, kind of like the one Scarlett O'Hara wore in Gone with the Wind. The only problem is, when you buy these nowadays, they don't come with a maid to lace you up. How many of you have ever put on a corset? Well, if you have, or if you haven't, it's kind of like taking a toothpaste tube and squeezing it from the bottom all the way up to the top, and all of a sudden, bam! There's the girls. Let me tell you, my boobs look like 2 big bowls of Jell-O. I told my husband, I said, you get the whipped cream, I've got the cherries, he's got the nuts. Okay, here's a question for you ladies. Is it true that women over 70 have the best sex ever? Okay, after you get over the ick factor of visualizing your grandmother having hot sex, let me tell you, it's true. There's a study that just came out that said it's true. And I have to tell you, having been a virgin when I got married, and the night before my wedding, my mother put the book, The Stork Didn't Bring You, under my pillow. I have to agree with the findings. I am an organ donor. That's hysterical, don't you think? 71 and an organ donor. I mean, really, who would want my shit? Betty White? I don't know. But, I think my boobs would make great saddlebags. Except they're so saggy. That poor horse would have to be a bazillion hands high to keep him from dragging on the ground. Oh, and today, when I was getting out of the shower, oh my God, did I have a surprise. I looked down, and I realized my stomach's turned into a leather fanny pack. All I'm missing is a zipper. Nobody told me when you get old, you grow your own accessories. Oh, and ladies, what about these spiked heels? I mean, what jackass came up with the idea of pounding a 7-inch spike into a piece of cow to call it a shoe? Probably a distant relative of the Kardashians, don't you? I don't know. Okay, well, last night I'm lying in bed and my husband says to me, "Hey, Diane, you've got a pimple." I said, "What? Where?" He said, "Right next to that big black hair growing out of your chin." Oh my God, at my age, I'm supposed to be getting Botox and fillers, not Clearasil and heavy-duty tweezers. losers. One thing about being married for a long period of time, you tend to argue more with your spouse, except my husband and I don't argue. Now he refuses to get on Facebook. I told my husband, Ted, I said, I really want a smartphone for my birthday. He said, Diane, it took you 2 damn years to learn how to turn on the computer. Fine, Ted, it only took you 20 years to learn how to turn me on. I'll tell you one thing that really chaps my ass, though, is the cowboys like to say, it's all the discounts seniors get on crap like Depends, Polydent, Preparation H. I mean, why can't they give me a discount on something I really need, like liquor? You lad, you wait till you're my age. You'll be reaching for a drink or 4 before noon. And just to give you a heads up, food stamps don't cover scotch. Hello, welcome to comedy. Okay, right now my only income is Social Security. So I think, okay, Diane, you gotta get serious. You gotta figure out a way to make some more money. So I'm thinking, hey, stand-up's an option. And I bet those retirement homes in the Sun Belt would be a bonanza. I'd charge $5 cover, and I'd only need 4 jokes, because by the time I got to the 4th joke, they'll have already forgotten the first 3. I can just keep repeating the same 4 jokes, don't have time. But realistically, I feel I have 30 years left. There's longevity in my family. But all I need are 10 good ones. And hell, after that, you can send me off to the woods. Just give me a blanket, bottle of scotch, Harkness cigarettes, maybe throw in some of those funny ones. Who knows, I might get found by a horny deer hunter from Laurel or Wyoming or, hey, better yet, North Dakota. He might even take me up to the Bakken oil fields to live in one of those man camps. Winter, winter, chicken dinner. You know, really, all the comedians that I perform with, I'm old enough to be their mother or their grandmother. And the great thing is, their girlfriends and their wives don't see me as a threat. Boy, do I have them fooled. They should Google the word cougar. Next to the definition is a picture of Betty White. You know, I became a cougar 29 years ago, and this is a true story. So I was newly divorced, 42. My kids were in California with their dad for the summer, and I was on the deck of a local drinking establishment, sipping some Chardonnay with some of my girlfriends, and down at the end of the bar is this dark-haired, dark-eyed, smoking hot stud looking my way. His name was David. He was 25, 17 years younger than me. Well, 3 glasses of Chardonnay, and 2 hours later, I took David home with me. Of course, he had his own transportation. Not a problem. I just tossed his bicycle in the trunk of my car and walked in. That's a true story. Don't tell my kids I told you that. Another thing about all these young'uns, you know, they bring their friends and relatives to these shows to support them. Hell, at my age, most of my friends are dead. Or they're in a retirement home where they don't let you out after 6 o'clock. And the ones that do manage to make it out sit in the audience and go, "What'd she say, Floyd? What'd she say? God damn it, I can't understand a thing she's saying. Where'd my teeth go, Floyd? Oh, shut up, Floyd, and get me a shot of tequila." I'm caught here. There we go. But honestly, I discourage my friends from coming because really, most of my friends my age are so uptight. They don't have a clue. Take, for example, my friend Lois. She still thinks that doing 69 is driving through traffic roundabouts. Oh, and then there's my friend Linda. You know the book series 50 Shades of Grey? Okay, she thinks they're about interior decorating. Boy, is she going to be surprised when the movie comes out. She probably thinks Martha Stewart's in a movie now. Anyway, and the worst one of all is my friend Linda. I told her, Linda, I'm going to get my bush trimmed for the summer. She thought I was talking about landscaping my backyard. I said, Linda, I've been thinking about getting a Brazilian. She said, Diane, if you get a Brazilian, check his papers to be sure he's not an illegal. I mean, what do you say to that? All I can say is back in the day when the bush was popular, south of the equator on me was like a tropical jungle. Wet and wild. At 71, it's like the Sahara Desert. Dry with very little shrubbery. Oh, and have you heard about the latest thing for cougars? It's called frocking. Yeah, frocking. Botox and fillers for cougars. Frocking means funeral-ready open casket. I mean, look at Goldie Hawn and Joan Rivers. They're walking billboards for frocking. I do believe in reincarnation, though. Do you think it's true when they say once a bitch, always a bitch? Well, I guess I could come back as a Cocker Spaniel, right? I mean, a bitch is a bitch is a bitch. I've always been bilingual, English and canine. I mean, I grew up watching Lassie on TV, and not only can I speak their language, I understand everything they're saying. If that little shit falls into the well one more time, I'm gonna bury him in the backyard like a fucking bone. Oh, and how many of you have dogs? Yeah, right. Have you ever noticed dogs don't make any noise when they fart? Now, I always thought that was because dogs have all this hair on their butts. Oh, that's not true. My husband has so much hair on his butt, you can hear him fart a block away. And the poor guy, he's going through hair relocation. It's all relocated from his head to his ears, nose, back, and butt. Let me tell you, he has a back hair mullet longer than the California coastline. Oh, and ladies, have you checked your husband or your boyfriend's underwear lately? Yeah, I'm talking about skid marks. I have a rule. When they're brown, they're too long around. I mean, I'm sorry. There's only so much Clorox can do. That's why they call them briefs. You're only supposed to wear them for a brief time. When you fart and blow a hole through the rear end, doesn't that say trash can? And My second husband and I have been married almost 19 years. And people will say, Diane, what's your secret for a happy marriage? 2 words, separate vacations. Last year, Ted went to Miami, I went to Maui. And about 3 days into the trip, Ted calls me and says, so Diane, how's it going? Oh, great, Ted, how's it going with you? Fantastic. I'm having sex with a 30-year-old babe. Well, good for you, Ted. I'm so happy. I'm having sex with a 30-year-old stud, and I know I'm having a better time than you are. You think so? Oh, I know so. Do the math. 30 goes into 70 more times than 70 goes into 30. So true. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this. You know, getting old can be hell, but it sure beats the alternative. However, when you die, you don't have to worry about remembering things, you know? Like your kids' names. Do you have enough cat food for dinner? And you know what the kicker is? The kicker is you finally find out if all those people you told to go to hell actually went. Thanks for supporting comedy. I'm very kind of you. Bucket, twisted, lock it down.